Great day. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm Natasha L. Brown, host of My NewPeace Radio, healing evangelist, and holistic advocate. This week, we will be dealing with how you are feeling now that we are officially in autumn. So, we're going to read the disclaimer first. This is an informational session. I am not a medical professional. This broadcast is used to assist you in starting and maintaining your holistic journey in the right direction. Always seek medical attention from your primary care physician, and if it's an emergency, please dial 911. So, I am Natasha L. Brown, and I am a healing evangelist, a holistic advocate, as well as I educate women on how to reverse dis-ease by creating your body to be the self-healing machine that it was designed to be by God. And I'm also an author of 4 self-empowerment books: Divine Direction, The Heart and Mind That Loves God, The Now Proverbs 31 Woman, and A Guide to an Effective Wellness Program. So we do help businesses as well as ministries create wellness programs, and they are very much needed now so that your community, even someone that is looking to set it up as a community asset, there are limits on different things that are going on, and there is a lack of food. There is a food shortage that maybe we'll talk about in another broadcast. But there are things that you could do now to assist your community later. So definitely keep those things in mind. And to contact me, any of those books can be purchased through any of the websites, which are in the comments section through whathappenedtoyourlastmeal.com or natashalbrown.com. So definitely we are live on My NewPeace Radio at mynewpeace.com, as well as we are live on YouTube. And again, those links are in the comment section also. This week, what we are dealing with is being proactive. That's a major thing that we do as a holistic advocate and healing evangelist. We want you to be well in every area, not just get better, but stay well so that you don't have to be sick. Illness and disease was not designed and created for us to experience. Those things that we do on a daily basis create that particular environment, internally as well as externally. Some things that we are doing emotionally, mentally, spiritually could be creating dis-ease and illness in the body. So there are many things that you want to make sure that you're doing to stay well. We have entered autumn full-fledged. Many areas, many parts of the country are experiencing snow and definitely colder weather. So what I wanted to discuss this week, if you are not practicing and doing what it takes to stay well, just want to point out some different things that are more common in this particular season in autumn than they would be any other time of the year. The first one we want to talk about is allergies. And allergies can be year-round depending on what you are allergic to. But allergies are going to be a little more serious this time of year because during the cooler months, you have more of your respiratory ailments. So definitely allergies are going to come around, and what you want to look for, some of the symptoms may be coughing, fatigue, ear congestion, sore throats, headaches, snoring, sneezing, post-nasal drip, loss of smell, temporary loss of smell, watery, itchy eyes, runny nose. And if you have any of those symptoms, or if you experience seasonal allergies, you already know some things that could trigger you. So definitely making sure you know those triggers are important because you want to stay away from those things that are creating allergies. Many of our foods are creating certain things in the body as well. Not necessarily will it create an allergy, but it is aggravating those signs and symptoms that we may manifest in the body as far as that is concerned. So some of the prevention tips, you want to make sure if you are allergic to anything that is external, when you're coming in and out of the house, you want to make sure you are changing your clothes, taking a shower to get those allergens off of your physical body. Also, you want to make sure that you are keeping your home free of those allergens. This time of the year, many people are not letting up their windows, but depending on where you live, you may have your windows up. So in the car, at home, if you are allowing the fresh air to come in, which in itself can be, depending on what you're allergic to, can be detrimental, but also it can make sure that you're getting what you need, because the sunshine, the fresh air, being outside, many times will alleviate a lot of what's going on in the body. But if you're allergic to what's outside, then definitely keep in mind to be mindful of what you are consuming. You know, the dairy products, definitely, if you're of African descent, they are going to create and aggravate any allergies, whether external or internal, that are going on in the body. Anything that is mucus causing, I have a blog on our website at whathappenedtoyourlastmeal.com. There are a list of mucus forming foods, as well as things that you can do to make sure that you're not creating mucus in the body. So what you're eating, if you're eating a lot of processed foods and not a lot of live foods, with any of these ailments that we're going to discuss, that is going to create an environment internally in your self-healing machine, the body, where it's not going to be able to work properly. You're going to be creating mucus. You're going to be creating inflammation. You're going to be causing issues in your tissues that you don't have to, right? So being proactive means paying attention to your body. Listen to your body. Your body will tell you what you need to do to stay well. So definitely listen to your body. What is your body saying? When you eat certain things, how do you feel after you eat those particular things? Just the little things that we don't always pay attention to. Even things that you're putting on your body externally. How do you feel afterwards? You don't necessarily have to break out for it to be creating an issue in the body, right? The common cold is our next one. So we dealt with allergies, common cold. Many of the symptoms for the allergies will run with the common cold as well. And washing your hands will definitely help with decreasing getting any illness, any sickness in the body, so that you can maintain. So if you have proper personal hygiene, then it definitely is going to help you, and it's going to help the next person, because if you are not taking care of yourself, you're more likely, especially if you're in an environment where you're working with other people, you're more likely to make that person sick as well. So that's something that we definitely don't want to share with others. The common cold, some symptoms may be a low-grade fever, runny nose, body aches, headaches, cough, sneezing, a lot of the same things that were going on with the allergies. So you want to be able to tell the difference between the two. Some prevention tips, like I said, washing your hands, just like with the allergies, taking showers if you've come from outside. Make sure that you are keeping your stress level down. What are your stress triggers? Definitely you want to know that, because we're going into the holiday season. So knowing the difference between not feeling well and being stressed, so that you can take time out and relax and do what it is that you need to do to bring that stress level down. Eating live foods is going to definitely assist you with making sure that you're not getting sick in any way. And live foods are anything that would rot, especially normally would rot. If you're eating genetically modified foods, which many of our foods are, if you're not paying attention to what you're purchasing in the stores, then yes, if you don't have an organic product, then it may not necessarily rot like it used to. Depending on if you're over 21, you should remember how and which foods rot. But if it's a live food, it's come off of its source, whether it's a vine, whether it's a tree, whether it's come up out of the ground, it should begin to deteriorate after so many days of not eating it. You want to make sure you're getting restful sleep, as well as exercise. Get your body moving, get your heart rate up, get to sweating in some form, so that you can make sure that your body is getting what it needs. Cover your nose and mouth if you're sneezing and coughing, especially if you're out in public. Avoid crowds of people if at all possible, if you feel that you're having some symptoms. Resting is definitely going to be something that is going to assist if you are feeling sick in any way, regardless of what the ailment is. If you're just joining me, thank you so much for stopping by My NewPeace Radio. We are live at mynewpeace.com as well as on YouTube under Natasha L. Brown or My NewPeace. And we are dealing with autumn illness, how to be proactive so that you don't have to experience it. We've dealt with allergies. We've dealt with the common cold, the flu. Many of the things to prevent are going to be similar for any of your illnesses. Anything. If you're wanting to stay well, definitely you want to practice many of the tips that we are sharing today. The flu is our next one, number 3. And many of the signs and symptoms of the last 2 are going to be the same. You may experience diarrhea, excessive fatigue, nausea and vomiting, body aches, wheezing and congestion, chills, fever, headache, sore throat, chest congestion. Many of these things can be eliminated if we are taking care of our bodies, being proactive. So again, washing our hands is something that we should be doing anyway. It should have been something we were doing even before all of this virus stuff came out and we were having to go into lockdown to make sure that people weren't out exposing each other to different illnesses. But washing your hands thoroughly, making sure if you're around someone else that is sick, that you are making sure that you encourage them to leave whatever their environment is, especially if it's a work environment, because you don't want to make everyone sick. That is something that we don't want to do. Not spending time in crowds. Again, eating live foods, making sure you're hydrated, getting that body moving, exercising, getting the vitamin D if you still have sun and it's not cloudy, as much vitamin D as you can, and keeping your stress levels down. That's something for prevention on anything that we're dealing with. Sore throat is number 4. So if you are experiencing a sore throat, and I know in high school, every winter is when I would experience a sore throat. And a lot of times I would have mild laryngitis where I would actually lose my voice. And so in a school setting, also, you want to make sure you are training your children to do the same thing so they won't bring anything home and they won't pick anything up and make themselves sick. So sore throat, you could have a hoarse voice, trouble swallowing, swollen glands, loss of appetite, chills, itchy, watery eyes, body aches, nasal congestion. If you notice, many of these, the symptoms on any of the 4 illnesses we've discussed, they are similar, right? So the prevention is the same as well. Avoid crowded places, especially if there's someone that you know is sick. Wash your hands often if you are out in public. Cover your mouth and nose. Drink as much water as possible. If you can get up to a gallon a day, you are definitely going to keep illness away. But if you weigh more than a gallon, if half your weight is more than a gallon, then definitely you want to drink more than a gallon because you want to make sure your body is hydrated. Every organ gets what it needs. Also, you're eating that live foods, you're exercising, you are keeping that stress level down. That's going to be prevention for anything. Ear infections. A lot of your children will start getting ear infections. So definitely you want to be mindful and watch your children, because sometimes it may just be something mild, but you don't want it to get into a place where it's causing any issues for the child. So ear infections, you could have symptoms of dizziness, feeling sick, diarrhea, vomiting, ear pain or ear aches. So definitely be mindful of those things. And prevention, stay in a smoke-free environment. Avoid putting cotton swabs into your ears. And you have a lot of physicians that definitely say that. And definitely washing your hands, making sure you wash your hands and stay clean and keep that personal hygiene up to par, as well as, again, decreasing the stress level. And there's a lot of stress at this time. So definitely being mindful of what your triggers are. Eating live foods, hydrating. Making sure that you are getting restful sleep, always a good one. Another one could be bronchitis, could be something that's experienced. Again, this is the season where you have a lot of respiratory illnesses. For the asthma, bronchitis, any of your respiratory issues, again, you want to make sure you stay away from mucus forming foods, and you want to make sure that you are taking care of your body the way that it was designed to do. If you're eating something, whether it's considered a mucus forming food or not, if you're eating something and you feel get that scratchiness in your throat, or you have to cough up something, then it's a mucus forming food for you. It may not be an overall mucus forming food, but how is your body responding to that particular food? So keep that in mind as well. Also, you want to keep in mind arthritis. There are many things you can do for arthritis to take care of your body, and make sure you are not allowing the inflammation to settle in your joints. Get moving, stay moving, do what it takes in order to keep those joints lubricated, keep those joints active, and make sure you are not falling into the sedentary trap where we're sitting down to watch TV. We're sitting at the computer all day. After work, if you sit at the computer all day, then you definitely need to be exercising. Even if you exercise before work, taking a vigorous walk, doing some stretching exercises, practicing yoga for particular body parts. All of that will definitely help. And again, eating live foods, making sure that you're not eating anything that is creating inflammation or mucus in the body. Drinking your spring water, making sure you are hydrated, as well as alkaline water to get the acidic particles out of the body. Also, making sure you're getting restful sleep, decreasing the stress, and doing what it takes for your body, because your body is going to give you signs and symptoms. Whether you listen or not is going to be up to you. Making sure that you are doing what you need to do in order to live and possess wellness is definitely key in doing what it takes in order to be well. There are many different seasonal respiratory issues that are taking place at this time, especially those that have the issues yearly. If you are having and experiencing a particular issue each year, what is it that you can be doing before you get to this season to feel better? And sometimes we just settle in. This is something that happens. This is something I have to receive and something I have to settle with. You do not. Your body is divinely crafted to be whole, to be healed, to be well. We do not have to accept sickness and disease in the body. So what is it that you need to do in order to be well in any season? That's what you need to be focusing on. And then as a holistic advocate, that is what I work with people on. How did we get into this situation? Whether we think it's genetics or not, what can we do to make sure that our body gets what it needs so that it will not settle for illness, right? Another issue during this time is seasonal affective disorder, or SAD, which is a disorder that affects many people throughout the autumn and winter season. It's a serious disorder that can lead to clinical depression. So definitely we want to make sure that we are doing what it takes, because many people have experienced depression for the simple fact of having to be in the house, not being able to interact with family and friends the way they did before. So definitely be mindful of these things. Some of the symptoms for SAD or seasonal affective disorder could be sadness, fatigue, weight gain, trouble concentrating, increased desire to be alone, feelings of weakness. Those are things that you want to look out for in yourself as well as in others. Some things you can do to prevent this is self-care, self-compassion, not being so hard on yourself. Physical exercise. If you did not get the vitamin D during the spring and summer, definitely on sunny, beautiful days, get out and get directly in the sun so that you can get what you need. And again, exercising, you can do that outside, even if it's cooler. Also, making sure you remain hydrated, decreasing stress levels, knowing what your triggers are, eating live foods, and getting restful sleep. All of these things are going to be your base, your foundation for wellness. So definitely keep that in mind as you go throughout the autumn. If there's anything that you are interested in as far as the topic, definitely let us know. You are listening to My NewPeace Radio. I'm Natasha L. Brown, your host, healing evangelist, and holistic advocate. So we look for topics definitely on any of the social media platforms, or even in this thread on the broadcast. You can let us know if there's a particular topic you're looking for, or if we didn't cover something that maybe you experience each autumn and winter that you would like a little more information on. Let us know. We'll definitely assist you in getting the not necessarily the cure, but I'm going to use the word cure for what you need, because the cure is within us. Our body already has the cure for whatever it is that we need, because that is the way that God designed it. So if you keep that in mind as you go throughout your day, then you can possess wellness and not have to worry about what you are going to experience or be fearful as you go from season to season and experience the same thing you've experienced before. So definitely keep all of these tips in mind as to what we have shared with you. Contact us and let us know what you do in order to stay well each season. And definitely keep in mind that we are excited to hear from you and excited to hear how you have overcome a particular illness. I know I was diagnosed with cancer several years ago when before I had my second son. And there were many natural things that I did in order to make sure that I jump-started those healing properties within my body. And I am so grateful to God for directing me down that path, because I could have took the harsher path and not necessarily have been here. So definitely operating in my purpose to share and spread wholeness and wellness with others is definitely something that I look forward to each week. And we are here weekly Tuesdays with My NewPeace Radio. And again, you can listen to any of the previous broadcasts as well as this one at mynewpeace.com, or you can go to YouTube and listen to them as well. So we definitely appreciate you joining us this week for My NewPeace Radio. And as always, remember that I love you, that self-love, self-compassion, and wellness are your superpowers. So until next week, make sure you are taking care of yourself and have a great week. Enjoy.